Namaskar. This is Sripad Jagannatha. You know, whether or not you want to or you like it, the media, in the form of social media in particular, is inflicted upon you from morning until night unless you make a very conscious effort not to participate. But it's really hard. There's certain things that we need to know throughout the course of the day or have to do, or send an email where we kind of stuck to that platform. And it does wear on you. There's a few things that I find noteworthy. One is this interest in billionaires. Fuck those guys. Money, which I've had intermittently and not had rather consistently, doesn't do too much. And the more you invest yourself in that, the more your consciousness aligns itself with the dictates of the material energy. I am my body. I am the Lord of all that I survey. I'm here to eat, drink, and be merry. They forget about the part where tomorrow ye shall die. Shadows we are, and shadows we depart. Dust to dust. So it's the height of folly to enjoin your consciousness with this eternal quest for money and the things that it can buy. Now, I mean, I've been there. I know what I'm talking about. And I've also seen the effect on other people. And I'm here at 71 to tell you that if you want to waste your life, assuredly chase that money. By way of example, if you chase a beautiful girl, what's she going to do? She's going to run away. Money's pretty much the same thing. And the acquisition of power. You deliberately run after it, try to catch it. It's going to run away. The laws of material nature dictate that there is no need to pursue either happiness or distress. They will find you in concomitant measures according to your karma. So while this American document guarantees us the pursuit of happiness, it's not really anything that you should give yourself to. In that, as I say, both happiness and distress will assuredly find you. There's not a whole lot we can do to ensure a greater quantity of one or the other. If you for one moment think that these rich guys, these billionaire dudes, these tech bros are any kind of a model for your life, I beg you to give up that idea, because they're probably more silly and stupid and unaware and unconscious in the way they go through time here in this world than the average Joe like you and I. So, nothing to see there, folks. Life is a diamond. Don't squander it running after these media ideals of so-called success. You want to be like Donald Trump? I mean, he's got everything, doesn't he? Externally. But he's an idiot. It doesn't matter what position he's reached artificially or through whatever means. It's all illusion. It's all bullshit. So yeah, okay, let's just stick with that example. If you want to play billionaire or aspire to that, you just look at Donald Trump. Is that where you want to end up in life? I think there are better examples. The other thing that I notice is the sexualization of women constantly. Young women in particular, obviously, but sometimes old too. with the same nose, the same eyes, the same hair, the same thin body, the same everything that this media ideal has projected. And these girls thinking that this is maybe the road to happiness or success or whatever it is they're seeking, they should try to adhere to that and look as much like the next girl as possible, with ideals like, I suppose, the Kardashians, or I don't even know their names, but these kind of people. I don't follow it, but I see it as it's inflicted upon me when I go on the social media and, getting their nose a certain way with a little bob. I suppose it's always been that way, but it's a shame, really. Because we're only here temporarily, and too much notice of the material body and the conditions of our daily life and our housing, what we eat, what we run after, what we aspire to, takes up an unnecessary amount of time. Well, why do I say that? Because I don't feel, and it has not been for me true, that these pursuits equal any kind of efficient use of the human form of life. To me, life is a spiritual journey, not a religious journey. Could be, but not necessarily. But a spiritual journey in which you use your time in space, in this body, to try to understand who you are and your relationship to everyone else. To me, this is the only thing that, whether you win or lose or draw, doesn't matter what the end is, but the fact that you try, the fact that that is your aim, this to me matters. This to me is fruitful. But the projected images, whether they come from movies or television or stupid podcasts or legacy media, as they call it now, or Instagram, or any of that garbage, if you invest yourself too heavily in that personification, that ideal, that pursuit of happiness, not going to work. I mean, even the most beautiful girls get old, rather quickly. What happens then? I know some girls like that who have invested their whole life into how they look. But yeah, that's going to change. I used to be a handsome guy. Fortunately, I've been able to just kind of put that aside and try to understand the consistent nature of who I am, rather than some temporal flash in the pan of what I used to be. And I am certain that a lot of these beautiful young ladies, so-called, as they get older, become very bitter and discouraged when their looks slowly go. There's a story in the Vedic literature called Liquid Beauty. There was a very great devotee. She was a woman, female body, and she was always being harassed by these men who wanted to marry or mate. So she got sick of it and went into a room. And a month later, out came this kind of haggard old lady, and they said, well, what happened to the beautiful girl? He said, well, look, there's the collected bottles of my urine, my feces, mucus, vomit. She just put all of that into bottles to try to illustrate that this beauty was only on the material platform. And of course, no one was interested in her then, and they left her alone to go on her way. But it's so peripheral. I mean, just the other day, I was 30, I'm 71 now, Don't be fooled to think that 20 years is 20 years. In life, it's like a dog's life or an insect's life. It just goes like that. So you should, who am I to give advice? But I'm quite certain, having lived a long, long time, that this way of life, this emulation of figures we see in the media, whether they be actors or models, or, I mean, come on, you're smarter than that. But, you know, even if it's not that conscious, even if just the way the ladies try to look just exactly like, where is the individuality? Where is the character of these people when they just put on this mask of beauty? So, you know, there's nothing like being an old man to bitch about young folks and what's happening in the world, but that becomes a kind of privilege that we get with age. Some might call it insight. So, with that, I bid you good day. This is Jagannatha Das. Hare Krishna.